Okay, today we're going to do a little review on an open box on a new camera system. This will be a Lorex camera. I've got a security camera system already set up in my shop here, but the camera system's having a little bit of trouble, so I'm kind of excited to get a new one. This one here I'm going to try to go through, just unbox it, see what we get inside of the package. Try to get it hooked up, see if it'll actually connect to the internet. Won't probably go through all the features that this system will have. Like I say, it's brand new. I don't know what I'm going to run into as I'm going through it, so that's kind of we're going to do a little trial and error and show you what I have for a setup now versus this one, and why I got this one versus the other one. So we'll go ahead and first start out, I guess, by telling you exactly what we do have. And I'll put this data in on the link someplace, but it's a model 4KAD168. It's a 4K 16-channel analog HD DVR with a 3 terabyte hard drive, and this comes with the recorder and 8 cameras. This is CCTV type connectors. Prefer the Cat5 PoE cameras. I've got another system in the house that I use there. So I do like that, but this system was set up out here in my shop with this type cable. So instead of running new cables everywhere, the good cameras will do fine. These, I hope we'll be able to, we're going to see, use some of my existing cameras are still in good condition, and so with the 8 cameras that come here, and I've got really 9 cameras that I have set up, but with that I'm kind of have a problem with them. So the old system, I have my recorder set up here, and then I have my screen right above it so I can keep an eye on it, but you can see that one of the cameras in the bottom right is out. And also the other problem with this particular system is that I got hit by lightning on it, and it took out the internet card. So I don't have any way of connecting to this remotely. It's still recording. It has a small hard drive system, so that I can only record about 5 days worth of video, which is probably enough for most. And as I add cameras to it, I'm going to get less and less space. So I think the 3 terabyte hard drive on this one's going to see a big improvement. So we'll go ahead and open the box up and see exactly what comes in it. This is exactly as the box came from UPS when they dropped it off. I believe it was UPS or FedEx, one of the two anyways. So we'll go ahead and set this back a little bit. We'll start opening it up, and let's see what we come up with. So, we'll okay, so the first box opens up, and looks like we go straight into the goodies. We've got the directions, so we'll set those off to the side, and just get a couple of boxes out, a little bit of packing. I believe these boxes, let's see, almost look like they may be cable. So we've got some cable, and the CCTV cables, as I was saying, are this style. The one is the video comes in on this cable, and your power comes in on the other cable, so it gets powered up. So we'll set these off to the side. We won't need probably, hopefully, too many of those, as I'm going to try to reuse most of the ones I've already got. The next little box that comes out, let's see. Okay, this would be your power. It comes with a little transformer and a splitter so that you can split into one power transformer, supplies power for the up to 4 cameras. Here again, probably won't need these. These are Let's see, just to make sure, yes, 12 volt, 2 amp power supplies, which would be the same thing as what I'm currently using, so I shouldn't need those, but they'll make good spares in case I need them one day. And of course the other box is going to be the same thing, so they have 2 of those. So we'll set those off to the side. Like I say, we probably won't need those. Let's see what's next in the box. Big box. Oops, dropped something out of one of them. Looks like a pattern that you can use for mounting cameras, I would guess. So let's see what we come. Okay, within this box we've got 4 cameras. So that, I guess, is going to be half of what we got. And the cameras are nice looking little cameras wrapped up. Power, 12 volt DC in, yes, just as I would expect. We'll go ahead and make note of what these are. These are, look like pretty nice little cameras. And it comes with the mounting hardware if you need to mount them someplace. These are all for exterior use, so we should be good to put them out there where I need them and get good quality pictures. We'll set that off to the side. And I think this other box is going to be pretty much probably more of the same. It will be, yes, 4 more cameras, so that should be concluding all the cameras. We'll set that one off to the side, and we'll be mounting all, or using all of these, I imagine. But we'll see how the other ones work after we hook it up, and we'll start putting the cameras to it and go from there. Let's see what else we've had in here. A little bit of packing material again. And the heavy box. The other 4 cables. So we've got plenty of cable there. We can set that off to the side. Like I say, I hope we don't need too many of those. And I think those are all supposed to be 60-foot cable, so you can get 60 foot away. I'm pretty sure that's what they come with. You can buy splice kits and add to that. I don't know the exact range of that. And then we're going to be down to the 4K 16 channel analog DVR. Like I say, I like an NVR. The big difference between NVR and DVR, of course, is one is just a digital video recorder, and your NVR is going to be a network video recorder. So one of them is going to allow you to really interface with a lot more cameras that you have on your home network. If you have a different style camera out there, it allows you to connect to those and record those in your recorder along with your wired cameras. I really like that. That, of course, is, again, more what I have from my home system out of the house. Let's go ahead and unbox this a little bit. Looks like a nice compact little unit. Really just has power on the front, USB, has battery or recording, I guess, and network connection showing. On the back, it's going to have 16 ports for a camera. See, this one has audio in, audio out, so apparently we can send it out. We got the HDMI port, so we can take that to a TV. We got another USB port back here. The internet connection, Cat 5 cable, or Cat 6. We have the power supply coming in, and we also have a VGA port, so you can take it out to one or the other, or maybe both. We'll have to kind of see that and play with that a little bit. So it's got a good selection of ports. Of course, like all these connectors are really close together. If you ever have to take a camera back out, you really have to work to get in here to unscrew those, but that's pretty much standard for for what they do. So let's see, we got something else in here. I would guess probably at least a power supply. And let's see, we have an HDMI cable to hook up, so we have something to for an output. And we have a power supply. This is going to be a 12 volt power supply. This is a 3 amp, so this is a little bit bigger to run the entire system, the recording system. It also comes with a small HDMI or a Cat5 cable. Looks like probably Cat5. Yes, Cat5 cable, short length, probably 6 foot. And what else? I got something else in here. A USB mouse. So that'll be how we'll put our programming and that type of thing into it. So we'll have that ready. And that pretty much is everything in the box. So we're set to start hooking things up and see what we can make work. We'll set these boxes out of the way and see if we can make something happen. So I think first thing I want to do is we'll go ahead and work on pulling out the old system, and we'll go ahead and try to get that wired up, get the power put on it, and then see how it looks from that point. So we'll get started with that and get it set up, and we'll let you kind of see as I go through it. Okay, so we've got the old recorder, and we'll go ahead and just shut that off. I believe we'll shut it off. I guess we have to hold the power button on that. Well, we'll have to do that. I don't think I've ever really shut it down, not in this fashion before. So we'll have to go ahead and we'll go ahead and do an early shutdown on the original system. We never know, we might want to get back to it. So we've got that shut off, and what we'll do is see if we can take all these cables and everything from back in behind there and start swapping them out. As you can see, these are kind of held together somewhat. We'll move those over. This is kind of set up so that I can get it out to work on it anyways. And I want to try to stay as much of the new stuff as possible. So we'll do a quick swap out here. First thing I'm going to need is the power supply. So I want to probably go ahead and unplug. Let's see, what do I have here? Power supply right there. And that's coming up. I don't know what size that original power supply is. So I guess I'm going to have to do some unwiring to figure that out. And we'll go ahead and get the power unhooked, and that should be coming off of course, I've got a UPS supply power also. Let's see if we can get this to focus in on it. So it'll be hooked up to the UPS power here, and that way if the power does go out, I continue to record. So that should work well. I do recommend that, just because a recorder's not much good if it goes out on you. So we'll let this hang for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and unwire that. There's no sense in showing you all that. And then when we get back to hooking it up, we'll turn it back on and see how it looks. Okay, so I've got the conglomeration, like I say, all removed from up here. I've done a little bit of cable management as far as separating the cables out a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I've got the brand new camera set up, and I think that's the best way to go about this, is we're going to just temporarily hook up the one new camera and see if that can get working on here, and from there we'll be able to hook up the rest of them. So we'll set this one here, and we've got our new cables out. Now these cables have two different types of ends on them, so you can't really hook them up incorrectly. The one end has a male connector for your power, and the other one has a female connector for your power. I don't know how well you can see that, but so when you hook them up to your camera, your power cable is the one that's going to be determining which one goes where. So as we put that power into there, we can hook our other BNC connector up, and that would be that side. And then for the other side, we're simply going to take our connector and we're just going to hook it to the number 1 port on the back. And I've hooked all this up. Let me go through this real quick with you too, I guess. So on the back of the on the back of the here, let's see if we can make sure we can kind of see what that is. I've got I don't have HDMI on my TV, so I'm having to fight with this a little bit. I'm going to put the regular, it's old computer cable monitor type system. We got our Ethernet cable hooked up. We've got our power run to it, and we've got a mouse hooked up to it, so we can go ahead and get the controls on that. And then on the back, we've just got our 16 port. So we're going to go ahead and just hook it up to the first port. And I've got power that I've available here off of another plug, because I've got 9 cameras. So my last plug, I actually have this one here will supply about 8 of them all by itself, but I split it up because I don't like to put too much load onto any transformer that I've got, and it'll at least keep part of this going if something should fail on those. So we'll go ahead and we'll just simply hook one of these to the back of here. Make sure it's seated in good, and we'll plug up the camera. And that really should have us something going. And we'll set our camera there so we can see what it's doing. All right, now the last thing we need to do is we've got our TV monitor on. Let's go up here. We'll make sure that that's turned on and ready to receive our signal. And maybe that already was on from before. All right, it's on now, and we should be able to turn the power on the back side, and we get our little blue light in the front. I don't know if we can see that either. There's a small blue light on the front of it here that indicates that we're up and running. I think the power switch, I don't know if we showed that one or not, is back here. We need to have that on. And then we should be able to start seeing something on the screen, which we do. So we'll see how that turns out. Let's make sure I've got all my stuff out of the way a little bit for us so we can see what we got as it's firing up. I don't know how long it's going to take to get us fired up, so we'll just kind of wait and see what happens. Probably the initial startup is going to take a little longer than the normal. Getting it up and running, I imagine it's like a computer. You get it going, I can start to hear the hard drive spinning, it sounds like. And it's going through its process. Says it's initializing, and there we are on camera 2. So welcome. So we're going to be able to let's see if we can maneuver around here. We'll grab our mouse. There's a little arrow down here in the corner. I don't know how well all this is going to pick up on my end, but down here in the corner there is an arrow, so we're going to click on that. And Setup Wizard. We want to do, for me, I definitely want to do the network setup. So we'll click on that. That way we have Ethernet going into it. Let's get connected to your network. Connect the recorder to a router or a switch to your network using the included Ethernet cable. I have done that. It is I believe. We'll just verify that the other end was still plugged in. Let's see here, where does it go? Yes, it's plugged straight into that, so we should be good there. And we'll go ahead, it wants us to check for updates. So we'll go ahead and do that first. Our firmware, it says, is up to date. We need to come up with password. So should be, passwords is case sensitive, must be 8 to 32 characters long, contain at least 2 of the following number letters and special characters. Okay, so we're going to have to come up with this. So I'm going to not show you this. I don't know if it's good enough or not, so we'll make that up a little bit. Let's just take this down a little bit. We'll add that in, and this is one of those long drawn out for many of your cameras. Connect them to the recorder. Okay, so we have click once all cameras are plugged in. I may have to stop and do that. I don't know. We should be able to add cameras later on. This doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm kind of a little bit concerned with this because I really don't want to connect them all until I get them all mounted. Oh, that's not really quite what I want to do, I think. But I think I'll have to stop here and hook them up. We'll go from there. I think I'm going to probably want to use all 8 cameras, so I guess I'll break them out and see if I can get them hooked up. We'll take a little break, see what it is before I go any further. Okay, after a little consideration, it says to hook all of them up. I think I will do those one at a time anyways. If not, then I'll go back and start over again. I don't know why I shouldn't be able to add cameras to it. And I really want to test the other cameras also, so kind of you'd maybe want to hook all of them up and test them. I definitely say test your cameras before you actually mount them. So we're going to go ahead and tell it to go ahead. We're going to verify camera image. If you don't see a clear video image from the connected camera, please check all connections. We do see an image on the screen up here. I don't know if you can see it with this, but there is an image there. And we'll go ahead and continue on. Now it's time to mount your camera's desired location. Choose. Once you have finished, return the wizard to complete the setup. If you power off your recorder, you will be required to sign in with your password and restart the wizard and continue. So we're going to go ahead and consider myself set up and set my mine up as to what we have, and it's automatically picking up on time. Everything's there. Name your cameras. We'll do that afterwards. I know we can. And I would recommend display the camera name and the time. And we can always come back in here and customize your recording settings, motion areas, schedules. I say this is not to do that. And we can do person vehicle detections. And all done. Now you're ready to download the Lorex Home app. So that's where we're going to go with that. Please download the Lorex Home app. Follow the instructions the app that included with additional setup. Now I already have a Lorex app. So I imagine that I will be able to, I think I have the correct Lorex Home. Yes, I have a Lorex Home app, so I should be able to open that up. And this one here, I don't know if you'd be able to see it or not, but we'll go ahead and let's see here. We'll have to log into my normal account and then come back at it again. So let me let me log into it, and then we'll kind of go through that real quick and see if we can get it hooked up. Okay, so what we've got is I was able to, I don't know if I can see this, that window's kind of getting this. I was able to go back in there, and like I say, I've already downloaded this. I'd already made me an account with them because I have several Lorex stuff. So when you get it all done, you'll be able to upload that, and we'll go ahead and proceed from that. And in here, I'm sure we're going to go to adding a device. And what we need to do when we go to scan a device is we simply turn this around, and there's a code here on the corner of it. So we can come in and it will automatically capture that. And here you will have to put in your password that you came up with before just to log into this. So I will put that in. And it says that it is adding a device to my account. And while it's doing that, this says that after I've done, click to close the Lorex Setup Wizard. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue to the live display while this is setting it up. And then it wants us to come up with a name for this. So we're going to say, call this my shop. And we'll say complete. And so let's see if we can come in, and each of my cameras now are listed in here. So each camera, I guess, is going to be separate. And there it is. I can see my picture on here, and the camera that I'm using. Probably can sign it up here to show you what the camera actually is. It's not real good. So that's really all it takes. So from here, I guess I can just add cameras to it, and as I do, we should be able to pick them up. As far as the display goes, I think we should, let's go ahead and see if I can capture a little bit of this. We should be able to pick up on that. If you want to see full screen, that's a pretty good picture, even though this is in my display is 1080p because of the connector I'm using. It's not the full 4K picture quality, so I will want to eventually get that to be hooked up to my HDMI so I have a little bit better quality. It's going to record in 4K, but it won't necessarily display in that, but that's a pretty clear picture. So I'm happy with the cameras. So that's really about all the setup there is right now. Pretty simple to set up. Most of it's going to be mounting them and that type of thing. That's pretty simple. Run your cables and hook them up, and just make sure that they're pointing in the directions. Make sure you put your camera someplace where you can, I would test them. Make sure you have something that'll pick up, if somebody pulls up with a car, you can recognize license plates. This camera is good enough to do that. Maybe park your car out there so you can pick up on that in a couple spots. You want it close enough to where you can get some facial recognition. This system is supposed to be able to determine between automobiles, people, that type of thing, and alert you on those. So if you want to set up home alerts, a lot of other features on there. So looks like a pretty good camera. That's what comes with it, and we'll go ahead and set it up, and maybe I'll finish this off after I get some more set up and place my cameras where I need to, and see how the picture looks at that point. So we'll call it good for now. Okay, well, we did spend a little bit of time working on the setup of this. We've got the cameras mounted, and it's starting to run out of daylight. But as you can see, we got all of them put in. Now this system seems to be pretty adaptive, so a lot of my old cameras actually would work with it. Along with the new ones, I've replaced the ones that I really weren't happy with to get me the best resolution. It's getting a little dark out here, so I don't know if we're going to pick up a lot on it. But up here you can see that I've replaced that camera there. And I've got some sitting out around the back side over here along with others. And we've mounted them up underneath there to try to give it a little bit of a hidden appearance from the rain. This is one of my old cameras. Let's see if I can focus in on it. On this corner. That's an old camera that I had, and on this particular system it actually picked up quite well in color, where the other recorder system did not. And this one here is another camera system here on this corner. Whoops, there. Let's see if we can find it here. Well, you can hardly even see it. Like I say, it's hidden up underneath there, and it's getting a little dark out. So, but that kind of keeps it a little bit hidden anyways up underneath the soffits. It was pretty easy to set up. So yeah, you can go ahead and just plug up the one. And then as you plug up your new cameras, they just come online. And at that point, there's a menu on here that you can go into, put your password in, and then just change your names, this type of thing. It's all really pretty self-explanatory. Once you get the thing up and running like this, you can take your mouse and just do a quick right click someplace on the screen. It'll bring up a main menu and gives you all your choices of what you want to look at, what you want to do with it. And from there, like say, if you're wanting to name your cameras or something along that line. Oops, there, I actually clicked on the wrong one. Cameras. This brings it up. I don't know how well you're going to be able to tell what I'm clicking on, but there's a place here that goes into recordings, overlays. In this place here, down in the bottom corner, you can put the name of what camera this is. Down here, just click into space and type it in. Also gives you a place to do this. You can move your time and date stamps around as needed if you have them blocking something. And when you get done, you just hit apply and you're good to go. So that's really the basic setups of it. All your other stuff is up here across the top. It really is pretty self-explanatory on most of it, I think. Pretty easy to set up, and it comes right online. And when you get all done, you come back up to live up in the upper right-hand corner, and it brings all your cameras back up. If you want to look at any one particular camera, you can click on it one time, and it's a real nice picture of the front of the shop here. So click on it again, it brings it back to the full screen. So basically, yes, it's quite an easy setup. It shouldn't give you a whole lot of trouble if you're working with it and if you're at all familiar with cameras. But you can see, taking it out of the box and putting them up, I'll go ahead and replace whichever cameras I still want to get a little better quality on. I'm going to probably swap out, like I say, my monitors and get it to go to HDMI so I can get a little bit clearer picture in here. The camera app works really well. You can select high definition on that, and it gives you a very clear picture, and you can also scroll back and look at recordings and motions and that type of thing. So pretty good system. I think I'm going to like it. Better than my older system, even though it was a Lorex. This one has a lot of advances with face recognition and all that. So let's just play with that a little bit more as we go and fine tune it, and that should take care of us. So recommend it. Thank you much.